Okay, let's pretend you and I are at a networking event. And I walk up to you and I say, hey, what do you do?
Hey, how's it going, man? Have you ever purchased anything online before from like an email that you received, maybe from a company that you've looked at before and you got in, you subscribe to their newsletter or email list?
Yeah, I've gotten those all the time.
Perfect. So that's email marketing in a nutshell. Gets a lot more complex than that. There's a lot of things you can do with it, but a very simple view, that's pretty much what I do is I sell the software that allows.
Whoa. We never got to a problem. So before we start writing cold emails and cold calls, we have to know how we make the person that we're going to call happier. Mm-hmm. And one of the things that makes people happier is if you can help get rid of a problem that you think they might have. So the question that you asked, have you ever gotten, if you're asking me this as a prospect, have I ever gotten a pop-up that gives me 15% off? I said yes. And then you said, well, that's what we do. That's not a problem. That's just something cool that I get. So what's the specific, and let me explain to you what a problem is, because some people don't know. So let me actually back it up a little bit. If you've seen an infomercial, infomercials always start with a problem. In the kitchen, trying to make the perfect French fries with your knife. French fries suck, kitchen's a mess, family's unhappy, black and white. Introducing the potato peeler 3000, perfect fries every time. Crispy, no mess, happy family. But they always start with a problem. The news does this too, right? There's something wrong with your peas. Story at 11. Oh my God, what's wrong with my peas I'm about to eat? So you have to understand what specifically is the problem that the person you're cold calling potentially has.
So it really depends because I don't call, we're really a mid-level email marketing platform. We work with companies that are bigger than just your average e-commerce startup kind of store. So most of our most of the people I'm calling in, pretty much 100% of them already are using an email marketing platform.
So I want to stop you for a second. You're not selling an email marketing platform. Okay? When I buy braces, you're not selling braces. What are you selling?
The better teeth.
Not better teeth. What are you really selling?
Self-confidence.
And what? A nicer smile.
Yeah.
So you're not selling email marketing to mid-market, whatever you just said. Your only reason to call somebody is to make them happier. Mm-hmm. So you're calling a marketing director?
Yeah, I call marketing directors, CMOs.
Have you ever been a CMO?
No.
Well, this is going to sound harsh, but what do you know about being a CMO and the problems they have, since you've never been one? So what's a problem a CMO might have that you can help them with?
So with revenue, they're going to want to increase the revenue that they're driving.
God, that's so generic, buddy.
I know.
If you call, and the reason it's generic is because you don't really know what they're doing every day. Let's just be honest, right? So if you call and say, I'm going to help you increase revenue, that is what I call an unbelievable statement because it's so generic. Look at that. Look at how generic and markety. You guys have a positioning problem.
Oh, I know. I've told them this.
So this is at the core of the problem, right? You don't have a message that's clear based on a way in which you can make your customers happier. So you sound like what advertising legend David Trott calls a white circle in a sea of white circles talking about maximizing revenue opportunities. Yeah. It is a huge opportunity loss for you guys. Now let's actually take a look at your profile. What a white circle, right? Digital marketing teams with an easy to use, sophisticated email marketing platform that has nothing to do with how you're going to make me happier. It has nothing to do with a problem. Contrast that with, I'll just humble brag here, not booking enough meetings with qualified buyers, getting ghosted after your first meeting. See the difference there?
There's so many problems though that an email marketer can have.
Yeah, but here's the thing, dude. When you talk to all of them, you talk to none of them. Pick one. You get to touch them 8 times. In each touch, you're going to focus on another problem. When you are generic, and you say, and that's me too. VPs of sales have 7, 8 problems. Yep. Each touch is a new problem. And when I do those surveys for customers, if I were to send that survey out, what would happen is I use what's called a pivot table. It's a fancy jargony word to describe where's the most energy and excitement around.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I see that.
It boils that up to the front so that you can focus on that. I'm a triathlete.
Uh-huh.
If you were to call me and say, I'm going to help you go faster on your bike, I'm hanging up on you. But if you called and said this, hey, Josh, I noticed that you're doing an Ironman race in November, which probably means you're doing 100-mile rides. I would imagine right around mile 67, your sit bones start to hurt. You get some chafing, you get some numbness, and you got to get up out of the saddle, out of the aero bars, probably slows you down. Has that ever happened to you? Notice the language: sit bone, saddle, numbness, chafing. That's language of a triathlete. Guitar people have their own language too, I'm sure. So do CMOs, and it doesn't sound like save your money. So the first thing we have to understand is, and I'm going to ask you the question again, what specifically at a triathlon level, saddle, numbness specifically, is the CMO struggling with today that you think you could help them do better with tomorrow, specifically?
So it depends on what they're using. Different platforms will have potential weaknesses that we could help that would save them time. And
let's pick one, buddy. Let's pick a platform. Let's have a hypothesis. They are using what?
Say they're using MailChimp.
Great. They're using MailChimp. How can you help me do something? What's the problem with MailChimp that a CMO? First off, is a CMO even using MailChimp? I doubt it.
No, it's the end users.
We're calling a CMO.
Yeah.
Let me go back to my question again. You said you're calling a CMO. A CMO doesn't care about MailChimp. His team is using MailChimp.
Yeah.
What is the CMO's specific struggle? This is why I'm not sensing you're at a 6. I think you're more like at a 3. Let's find out. What's a CMO struggling with specifically?
Getting their marketing goals that they've set out, with whether it's creating awareness, driving more revenue.
Generic, buddy. I'm sorry to be harsh on you, buddy, but you don't know.
Worries.
It's too generic. When a CMO wakes up in the morning, they're doing specific, crispy jobs. Mm-hmm. Specific. I'm going on a bike, a 67-mile bike ride. Right at around mile 37, I start to get numbness and chafing. It starts to be uncomfortable. I got to get out of the saddle every 20 miles after that. It's uncomfortable. That sounds very different than what you said, which is I'm going to make you faster.